Oh my goodness, everybody. Yeah, we're on our way to the waterfront again, as you can tell, passing Fens Irving in Harvey, New Brunswick. Holy jumping what the last couple of days I've had here. My brother shows up with his wife and their son and his men, and they stayed a couple of nights. So the first thing we did is got drunk. I was drinking Moose Light, thought I'd be, nice and quiet and good and everything. Well, it didn't quite turn out that way. I let her rip, so we played table games and drank. I want to say we did something else, but I can't remember what it was. It's probably really fun too, but my mind's going, so it'll all be new to me. Then today we get up and went to St. Andrews, New Brunswick. We went whale watching on the Jolly Breeze, sort of a tall ship replica type of thing. That was really fun. Saw some good whales and had a really lot of fun doing that. The crew was great, especially for kids. The Jolly Breeze is fantastic. So, and they're great with kids. On in between, besides the whales, you see all seals and all this other stuff. Porpoise we saw, just I don't know, bald eagles here and there. Puffin we saw, an Atlantic puffin. They're a lot smaller than I thought they were. The Atlantic puffin. They're a very small little bird, not much bigger than a parakeet. They look TV too, but they're not a big bird. So, I know what we did yesterday. We went down to the blockhouse in St. Andrews and walked around the ocean floor. The tide was out, so we went exploring on the ocean. Did that. Gosh, I seem to think there's something else I'm forgetting. And I went to pick up 20 pounds of clams from Joe Garnett, who lives in St. Andrews. He's my clam guy. Fresh picked right out of the old ocean yesterday. And they're pre-soaked, so you're not going to have a whole bunch of sand in there. So I got those in the back of the truck here. We're going to go to Uncle Carl's tonight, it looks like, because I'd prefer to have him down at the waterfront, but we're going to get some rain probably, and I'd just rather not go down there because no one to go. So people will all show up at my Uncle Carl's, which is sort of the central in between where I'm at on the waterfront and then Carl, and then my Uncle Steve and Auntie Karen are at the top. So yeah, be fun. So I'll steam those babies up. I got my big seafood boiler pot and propane burner. So we'll do those at Carl's house and get those all done up and feed everybody. That should be fun. Drinking, of course, it's an East Coast thing to do. Drink and eat seafood. I know what it was. We went to the aquarium in St. Andrews yesterday also. That was pretty fun. They really improved that little aquarium there. It's interesting. So tomorrow I think we're going on a beer tour running around Fredericton there, and just touring the craft breweries and all that junk. And then the next day we're going tubing down, I don't know what river, the Nashwauk River or whatever it is. We're going to go tubing, a whole bunch of us. I think like 10 to 15 of us are going to go. And pretty much the same thing. You float down the river in the blazing heat, complain, get mad, drink, and come back. So that's fun, I guess. That's what I've been doing the last day. What have you been doing? You must have been doing something this past weekend. It was, of course, what is it, Independence Day weekend in the U.S., July 4th, whatever that is. Happy whatever you had there to my U.S. subscribers. Well, you guys really do it up good down there. I gotta give you that. So I steered clear of the U.S. because every store and restaurant was nuts. We did today eat at the Herring in St. Andrews. That's so good. I got the fried clams. I'm going to have steamed clams tonight. But anyway, can't pass it up. Fried clams and platter with, their signature tartar sauce. Yesterday, we ate at the, I don't know what it was called, further on up street, further back down Water Street in St. Andrews. I can't remember what it was. It's just like you walk in and you look up at the sky, but it's like that clear plastic over a barn frame. So it was so nice. It was so good. Had a few beers here and there along the way. And, not a lot because I had to drive. So we just had one each at lunch. But, man, I'm not like I used to be. I woke up a little tired there this morning. It was a little rough, but what are you going to do? Do what you're going to do. So I'm going to drop off the clams, the burner, and the pot at my Uncle Carl's halfway down to the waterfront. And then go down and unpack, find out what everybody's doing, and then come back out. So I've got my chair with me in the back too, wherever I go. Sure all that's situated. Go down and unpack our trailer stuff and then come back up. How it goes. It was hot most of the day. Really hot. Right now it's only 23, which is acceptable to me. Now what's that in US? 46, 56, 66, 74 or so. Comfortable. But back in St. Stephen, holy jumpins. Easily today it was. I don't even want to talk about the humidex, but the actual temperature was 31, so that's 90 Fahrenheit. So not fun to walk around in that type of heat. Now it's funny too, because out on the this morning out on the whale watching boat, it was cold. She cold at sea, Billy. You ever been nailed at sea, Billy? No, but I've been blown ashore a few times. It's a good old classic Butte. I sort of dumbed it down. Took the swear off it for you. I'm sure you could have handled it, but once again, you got one of those to spare? Gosh, I'd sure appreciate that. Just kind of helps me get more views, and the more views gets me more subs sometimes. I don't monetize the station anyway. It's just fun to count. So if you give me a thumbs up, that'd be just super. Love it. Burning on down a great big. What is this? The River Valley Drive, Route 3 in New Brunswick, Canada. We're coming part way up from where I live, right on the border of Maine, USA. I live right in the town that borders Maine, USA. Calais, Maine, specifically. We're in Newmarket here, like last week, or whenever I was last here. We're going to be up here this time about a week, so I'm really going to give it here. So. Yep. My wife took off the week too, I believe. She's been off the last couple of days anyway. Well, today's only Monday. Yeah, maybe she did take the whole week. So we got her 50th birthday coming up soon. So I'm gonna take her down to Vegas. Get her ass out of the country. When it's hotter and blue blazes down there, we're gonna stay at a resort, you know, on the strip there, or whatever it is. I can't remember which one it is. And I'm gonna go see the hard rock band, my favorite band of all time, is the Scorpions. So they're doing a, what do you call it when they're there for a while? I don't know, don't care either. Anyway, we're going to see the Scorpions. Love them, love them. You know, some other things while we're there. I don't know how many days we'll stay, 4 or 5 maybe. It's good to get out of your element sometimes and explore the rest of the world. People can say what they like about Trump and Carney and all that junk like that, you know. Truth be told, most of the sensible US citizens and Canadian citizens just love each other. I know it's the case right on the border anyway with Calais, Maine and St. Stephen, New Brunswick. We're just like one big happy family. We support each other's towns and stuff too, so they're suffering right now. Calais, Maine is because of, you know, tariffs or whatever, but all I care about is, you know, we get along. Life's too short for that horse shit. Life is just way too short. It's stupid. Anyways, turned about enough of my face. Sorry about that, I must apologize. Coming up to the big green bridge, a buddy of mine's father was constructing that thing, fell off and died. And on the right there, you see those things in the water. That's a little water park, inflatable everything, where you can go in there and as a family, sort of a family fun park thing. You go in there and they have slip and slides up on the grass there, and then the great big inflatables down the water. So people like that thing. And on the left is the Woolastook RV park. Couldn't tell you what that costs. Probably $3 or $4 grand a season. Includes all your, you know, your water and your sewage and your electricity though, so that's good. Yeah, I just got the feeling of home back. Alright, I'm gonna dump these off at Uncle Carl's halfway down the lane. We'll be back up after we dump all our stuff off there. Down below! Down below. Yeah, down below. All right, in we go. Got a bunch of people. My mom is laid to rest, and my uncle and aunt are in there. Different uncle and aunt, not one pair, just one of two of the sets, because the other ones are still living. Alright, so I'm gonna plop this off in there. I think Uncle Carl's got his vehicle there getting cleaned out. So we'll dump these babies off and probably say, what are you doing? So we're having them here. an excellent driver. I feel like Rain Man. Of course I'm an excellent driver. All right. Thanks very much, everybody. I'll probably do another couple of videos here. But like I say, you know, yeah, thumbs up, that would be fantastic. Where are you? There you are. Give me one of those, that would be great. You know, likes are always appreciated. Not necessary, but appreciated. So have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.